हरे कृष्णा। तो आशा की आपने ध्यानपूर्वक लेक्चर का श्रवण किया होगा। तो अगले सेशन में आगे बढ़ते हैं। एंड नाउ विल वेलकम हिज ग्रेस माधव मुरारी प्रभु जी इन आवर सेशन बाय लाउडली चैंटिंग हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र। हरे कृष्णा हरे
हरे
कृष्णा
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 हरे
हरे
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
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 हरे
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 राम
राम
हरे
हरे
राम
राम
हरे
राम
राम
राम राम
हरे
राम हरे
हरे।
वेलकम बैक प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna, nice to see all of you. How are you?
फाइन प्रभु जी।
No, how are you? Ah,
गुड प्रभु जी।
good. Okay, very nice. Hare Krishna, Amit Kumar Prabhuji, happy birthday. Hare
थैंक यू
Bol.
वेरी मच हरे कृष्णा
Okay. Now we're going to discuss how to study sacred scriptures. And for studying sacred scriptures, some qualities are needed. We have discussed 5 qualities last time, and today we are going to discuss the next 5 qualities. And all these qualities are mentioned in Srila Prabhupada's books. And the today's presentation, is entitled Good Student of the Scriptures, Qualities. So it is based on this book, written by Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, The Art of Studying and Teaching Scriptures. And you can order this book on Amazon if you wish. And you can get a lot of important information regarding our spiritual life from this book. And qualities are listed here. And we are going to start from the quality which is called freedom from envy. And this quality, freedom of envy, is very important if we decided to accept the position of a disciple, the position of someone who wants to get to develop spiritual knowledge in his heart, in one's heart. And this verse is from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita 9.1. Idam tu te guhya tamam pravakshямyana suyave gyanam vigyana sahitam yajgyatva mokshyase shubhat. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Anasuyave means free from envy. And Shri Krishna says here, my dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved from the miseries of material existence. So, if to speak about relationships between seniors and juniors in material world and seniors and juniors in spiritual life, these relationships are different. Usually those who have higher position, they exploit those who are in inferior position. In material life it works like this. But in Vaishnava society, we are trying to develop such attitude that whatever position we take, anyway, we should have service attitude. And even when we are dealing with juniors, our relationships with them are based on this value of servitude. And when we give some knowledge or when we help them, it is also the way how we are serving to juniors. So the same way, this unhealthy attitude which is typical for material world, when junior is looking at the senior, usually envy is there. Envy is there, and it is unhealthy attitude. But when it comes to the spiritual life, then proper attitude is to accept guidance, and the proper attitude is to be grateful, and this attitude means to be free from envy. For example, when Arjuna he asked Krishna for spiritual guidance, he told, Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam Prapanam, I'm your disciple and you please guide me. So he, from the very beginning, he accepted this position that Krishna knows whatever I need to, whatever knowledge I have to get, he already has this knowledge. So the same way, when Krishna was giving this knowledge on Kurukshetra battlefield, he was not partial to anyone. He gave this knowledge in presence of both armies, army of Kauravas, army of Pandavas. It is not that he gave this knowledge to Arjuna only or to Pandavas only in order that Pandavas army would get advantage which Kauravas army doesn't have. So the spiritual knowledge is for everyone. It is not for someone to get advantage. It is not for someone to get higher position and to be honored and glorified and so on. And yes, this knowledge is for everyone. Each and every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. And again, how to become free from envy, we already discussed yesterday, because yesterday one devotee asked this question, how to become free from envy, so we're not going to repeat the same again. You can watch the recording again if you wish. But again, it is important. Sri Krishna, he says, my dear Arjuna, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge. Why? Because you are never envious of me. It is beginning of 9th chapter, and 9th chapter, it is the most confidential knowledge. It is the title of this chapter, chapter number 9, the most confidential knowledge. There is one story when His Holiness Srila Indradyumna Swami, Srila Prabhupada's disciple, he was going here and there, and still he is going here and there, and he is preaching all over the world. And he met one person who was serving in army, and this person told him, which book is the most important book, because Srila Prabhupada wrote a lot of books, so which book is the most important? Because I'm a busy man, I don't have a lot of time, so you please tell me which book is the most important. And Indradyumna Maharaj told him that the most important book is Bhagavad Gita. And then the same military man, he told, actually, I'm so busy, I'm not even sure that I will be able to read the whole Bhagavad Gita. Maybe you can tell me which chapter is the most important, which chapter contains the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So Indradyumna Maharaj, he told that the most important chapter is chapter number 9, which is called the most confidential knowledge, and which describes the position of devotees. And at the very beginning of 9th chapter, Sri Krishna, he says that I'm equal to everyone. It is the beginning of 9th chapter. But later on in the same chapter, he says, I'm equal to everyone, but to some people I'm more equal. I'm more equal. And this category of people, who are these people? They are Krishna's devotees. I'm equal to everyone. I'm not impartial. But anyway, I am Bhaktavatsala. Well, actually, this name, Krishna's name, Bhaktavatsala, it is not mentioned here in Bhagavad Gita. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna always takes care of his devotees. So it is a privilege to be Krishna's devotee and to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Again, this envy works like impediment, like obstacle in one's consciousness. If someone is envious, he is not able to grasp this knowledge because it works like an impediment. So it is really important to become free from those from whom we get Krishna's mercy. And the next quality is servitude or mood of service. And in this purport to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, verse 25.271, Srila Prabhupada writes how this works, how this mood of servitude is important in our spiritual life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly empowered Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami. Following in their footsteps, the other Goswamis understood Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his mission. One should understand Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Sri Krishna from the 6 Goswamis in the Parampara system. The Krishna consciousness movement is following as strictly as possible in the footsteps of the Goswamis. Narottama Dasa Thakur says, H. Haya Gosani Yanra Mui Tanra Dasa, I am the servant of the 6 Goswamis. The philosophy of Krishna consciousness is to become the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Whoever wants to understand the difficult subject matter of Krishna Katha should accept the disciplic succession. A perfect devotee is able to understand Krishna through the disciplic succession, and his entrance into the kingdom of God is thereby certainly opened. When one understands Krishna, there is no difficulty in transferring oneself to the spiritual kingdom. So, in this quote, we get this understanding. From this quote, we get this understanding that we need mercy which is given by disciplic succession, which is given by representatives of disciplic succession. And we should accept the position before these representatives of disciplic succession. We should accept the position of dasa, 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 anudasa. It is proper attitude. And if this attitude is there, then we are able to get their mercy. Otherwise, we can be physically surrounded by ISKCON devotees or Gaudiya Math devotees. Anyway, they also belong to the same Sri Guru Parampara, the same Sampradaya, the same disciplic succession. But anyway, we stick to ISKCON, we stick to Srila Prabhupada's movement. That is important. He is empowered personality, and it is our spiritual family. Spiritual chastity should be there. We should not run here and there from one spiritual family to another spiritual family. If we belong to our spiritual family, to ISKCON, why should we go somewhere else? It is we should be satisfied with what we have in our spiritual family. The same way, like for example, we have our father, our mother, we have family in which we were born, and we are not about to abandon our parents and to run away to another family saying that I'm lacking something in my family. No, this spiritual chastity should be there. So this mood, I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord, is very important. It means we're surrounded by Vaishnavas, or for example, some devotees, they approached us, and our mood should be there like this. How can I serve you? It is really important. How can I serve you? Devotee appeared before us, and our natural reflex, which we should develop, our natural reflex should be like, how can I serve you? And Srila Prabhupada was giving such example. His attitude was like this. And Gopala Krishna Goswami Maharaja's attitude also was like this, that how can I serve you? And you can take example of any Srila Prabhupada's disciple or any exalted person in ISKCON, any powerful preacher in ISKCON, and what is the source of their power, their spiritual power? This attitude, service attitude, how can I serve you? Because they understand that it is authorized process, how we can get mercy of Sri Guru Parampara. Also, we have this quote from Srimad Bhagavatam 7:10:6. In the Padma Purana, Lord Shiva explains to his wife Parvati, the goddess Durga, that the highest goal of life is to satisfy Lord Vishnu, who can be satisfied only when his servant is satisfied. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore teaches, Gopi Bhartur Pada Kamalayor Dasa Dasanu Dasaha. One must become a servant of the servant. Prahlada Maharaj also prayed to Lord Nrisimhadeva that he might be engaged as the servant of the Lord's servant. This is the prescribed method of devotional service. As soon as a devotee wants the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be his order supplier, the Lord immediately refuses to become the master of such a motivated devotee. Krishna is not our order supplier. He is our master. In Bhagavad Gita, verse number 4.11, the Lord says, Ye yathamam prapadyante tam stathaiva bhajam yaham. As one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. Materialistic persons are generally inclined to material profits. As long as one continues in such an adulterated position, he doesn't receive the benefit of returning home back to Godhead. So the same way, we're speaking about how to read sacred scriptures, how to deal with Srila Prabhupada's books. So we should understand when he was taking this austerity to write this books, to wake up early in the morning, very early in the morning, to take this austerity, to write some pages, better to say to dictate some pages. Every morning, every night, better to say. He was taking this austerity. So why he was doing this? Because it is his service. It is his service to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and it is his service to the whole suffering humanity who will be, all these people will be reading his books. So this service attitude is there. The same way when we take Srila Prabhupada's books in our hands, our mood also should be service attitude. Means we read these books in order to understand what is written here, in order to become better devotee, in order to give better example to others, in order to preach, in order to distribute. It means when we distribute books, it means our service to ISKCON, our service to Srila Prabhupada. When we explain these books, it is also our service. When we just become better, when we just progress spiritually by reading these books, it is also our service to ISKCON society, because it is important for ISKCON that good devotees should be in ISKCON. Good devotees should be there. Good devotees should be there. The more good devotees and happy devotees, spiritually happy devotees we will be having here in our society, the better it will be for everyone. So we're going to the next quality, which is important when we are trying to study Srila Prabhupada's books. And this quality is called steadiness. It means we should read these books regularly. Every day we should read something. At least one shloka, like Srila Gopala Krishna Goswami Maharaj was saying. At least one shloka. Better to read one page or few pages, not just one shloka. But anyway, one shloka is also good. So in this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:18, it is written, Nashta praeshu abadrishu nityam Bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavatu tamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Also very important quality. Nityam Bhagavata sevaya means regular attendance of classes, of Bhagavatam classes. Basically, nityam is translated like eternally. But it is not expected from us that we will be sitting eternally 24 hours a day and we will be just reading Srila Prabhupada's books and doing nothing else. It is not expected from us, at least it is not expected from us on our particular stage of spiritual advancement. So in our case, this word nityam means regularly, means every day. It doesn't mean 24 hours uninterruptedly. It means every day at least something should be read. Something should be read. Few pages or Srimad Bhagavatam class from YouTube broadcasting from ISKCON Delhi or ISKCON Mayapur or ISKCON Ghaziabad or whatever. So by regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead who is praised with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. So you can see two conditions are described here. First one, we should be steady in our reading, in our Shravanam, and rendering of service to the pure devotee is also important. Again, we are coming back to the previous point about service attitude. And someone can say, but we don't have pure devotees in our community, what we can do, how we can do this seva, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, how we can serve to person Bhagavata, how we can render service to the pure devotee if we don't have Shuddha Bhaktas in our community. All of us were neophytes, what we should do. So, and the answer is very simple. This ISKCON society was created, was established, was started by Srila Prabhupada, who is pure devotee. So when we are doing any service, any simple service, menial service, or great service in ISKCON, and when we are doing this with understanding that it is not just I'm doing this because I'm expected to do this, but I'm doing this because I'm doing this for Founder Acharya, for Srila Prabhupada. So it is just the question of what kind of consciousness we have, what kind of understanding we have. If we do something, some little service or great service or whatever, but if we are doing this with understanding that I'm doing this for our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada and for my spiritual master, then it is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And this Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya is available for everyone, because even when we are chanting our rounds, it is also our service to Srila Prabhupada and spiritual master. So before chanting our rounds, we can just remind ourselves that we are doing this for these two personalities, these two pure devotees, and then we can take our Japamala and we can start Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So steadiness, it means just make sure that every day at least something is read, at least one page or one shloka or whatever. And in purport, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verses from 8 to 12, Srila Prabhupada writes, steadiness means that one should be very determined to make progress in spiritual life. Without such determination, one cannot make tangible progress. Very important to read these books with determination, with understanding that my spiritual progress really depends on this steadiness in reading Srila Prabhupada's books. The next quality, which is also important in spiritual life, it is called seeking the essence. Seeking the essence. And here you can see this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.8.4, where the process of Shravanam, process of Krishna Katha is described, how it works. Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. Bhagavan Vishate Hridi means that Supreme Lord Shri Krishna will be residing in one's heart. Vishate Hridi, Hridaye means heart. Bhagavan means Bhagavan. Vishate means he will come there. And when he will do it, Kalena Nati Dirkina, Kalena Natidhirhina means it will not take a lot of time. It will happen it will happen quickly. It will not take a lot of time. It will happen in short time. Kalena Natidhirhina. It will not take a lot of time. And what conditions are there that one should follow in order to invite Krishna in his heart in very short time? Shrinvatach Shradaya Nityam Krinata Shchasva Cheshtitam. It is important. Shrinvatach Shradaya Nityam. Shradaya means to listen Krishna Katha with faith. There should be faith in words of spiritual master. There should be faith in words of Srila Prabhupada. We were discussing this previously, yesterday, about importance of faith. Nityam means regularly. We also told about this just few seconds back. Nityam, regularly. And Grinata Shchasva Cheshtitam, Cheshta means endeavors. Oh! Haribol! Grinata Shchasva Cheshtitam. Cheshta means endeavors. And what kind of endeavors are required? Endeavors. I'm listening. I'm listening to Srila Prabhupada's book or to Srimad Bhagavatam class, or I'm reading the book, and I put endeavors to understand what it is all about. I put endeavors to memorize something, to understand. It is not just I'm sitting and nothing happens, no endeavors from my side. No, endeavors should be there. Otherwise, what happens quite regularly? The situation happens like, for example, class is over and you ask a devotee, what was this class about? And devotee answers, I don't remember what was this class about, but it was very nectarian. I remember that it was nectarian class, but I don't remember what it was about. So we should memorize something. We should put some endeavors. And for that, what we can do? We can take notes. We can take notes during the class. We can write something which we consider to be important. And also, we can try to put some cheshta means endeavors, to put endeavors to understand how it can be implemented in my life. What common it has with my life. Because otherwise, what happens? There are books, there are Srila Prabhupada's books, and we have these books on our bookshelf, and there is life, and these books and our day-to-day life, they exist in different dimensions, and these dimensions never cross. It happens like this. There is particular period of time, morning hours, when someone goes to listen Srimad Bhagavatam class in ISKCON temple. Then after this, his day-to-day life starts, and this day-to-day life has nothing common with what was before, what was taught in Srimad Bhagavatam class. It happens like this. So we have to make it united. And for that, we can ask this question to ourselves, how I can use this knowledge in my life, in my day-to-day life, and what common this life had with this knowledge has with my life. And if we cannot find the answers on these questions just by our own endeavors, we can ask our seniors. We can ask our seniors how we can implement such and such point, such and such knowledge from such and such chapter and such shloka, how we can use it in our life. And in purport, Srila Prabhupada writes about this attitude which Maharaja Parikshit had regarding Srimad Bhagavatam Katha. Srila Prabhupada writes, Maharaja Parikshit had no more than 7 days to live, but for others, Maharaja Parikshit personally recommends that one hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, nityam, always by one's own endeavor and with serious devotion also. That will help one to see the Lord Shri Krishna manifested in one's heart within no time. Serious devotion, it is written here. Well, Maharaja Parikshit's situation was quite serious, as we know, so he had to be serious. And our situations, maybe this situation doesn't look so much serious, but anyway, we should try, because Maharaja Parikshit, he is one of 12 Mahajans. He recommends that we should be serious here. And what does it mean? Kalena Natidirkina. That it will not take long time for Krishna to reside in our heart. Kalena Natidirkina. What does it mean? Because sometimes devotees, they say that I'm practicing Krishna consciousness already for 2 weeks or for a few months, and I don't feel this spiritual ecstasy all the time. What to do? It is written here that this Krishna's mercy will be manifested immediately. Kalena Natidirkina means that it is the quickest method. It is the fastest method in comparison with Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, other things. So it is the quickest method which is recommended for Kali Yuga. And Kalena Natidirkina means it will not take long time. It means, well, there are different systems how to calculate time. There is one system here on our planet. There is another system on demigods planet. There is another system on Brahmaloka. So our life is very short, actually, very short. If to perceive this life from the position of Brahma, very short. Like, for example, there are some mosquitoes or there are some flies. They are flying and their lifespan is really short. But these small insects, they perceive the duration of their lives. It is written in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 3rd canto. They perceive the duration of their lives like if their lives are 100 years, according to their perception. The same way our life is just one moment or half of a moment from perspective of Brahma or from perspective of demigods. But for ourselves it is 100 years. And of course, Lord Brahma also, his duration of life is also 100 years. But his 100 years is not our 100 years. It is a lot of time. But anyway, everyone is mortal in this material world. And Kalena Natidirkina, it means that actually it can take years, it can take decades or lives to achieve highest perfection in spiritual life. But anyway, it happens very quickly in the sense that our lifespan is very short. Our lifespan is very short. And this point that our lifespan is very short, many times it is emphasized in Srila Prabhupada's books. And it is emphasized in the sense that if our life is short, it means don't waste your time, just practice Krishna consciousness seriously. And because it is short, so make sense from your short life. Hare Krishna. And the last quality for today's presentation, for today's session, it is called practical application. In Nectar of Instruction, purport to the text number 3, Srila Prabhupada writes that devotional service is not a matter of sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. Its substance is practical activity. Again, devotion is not just emotion. Devotion, it is about activity, about doing something good for Krishna. We're reading further. Cultivation of spirituality doesn't mean sitting down idly for meditation, as some false yogis teach. Such idle meditation may be good for those who have no information of devotional service, and for this reason it's sometimes recommended as a way to check distracting materialistic activities. Meditation means stopping all nonsensical activities, at least for the time being. Devotional service, however, not only puts an end to all nonsensical mundane activities, but also engages one in meaningful devotional activities. Yesterday, this question was asked, how to control the senses? So the answer is that we can control our senses by engaging senses in meaningful devotional activities. It is written here. So we have this famous English proverb that idle mind is devil's workshop, right? So anyway, we have to engage our senses somehow. If these senses are not engaged in meaningful devotional activities, they automatically will be engaged in some, like it is written here, in some nonsense. It will happen by itself. These senses cannot be inactive. Senses are active by its nature. So again, we should do something meaningful for Krishna. And what we can do for Krishna, it is described in purport to the first verse of Nectar of Instruction. So you can buy this book in ISKCON temple and read it, and you will understand what to do with these senses. We have this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is written what we can engage in our devotional activities. Etavaч janma sabhalyam dehinam iha dehishu pranair ardhair dhyavacha shreya acharanam sada. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:22-35. So it is said here that it is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words. And of course, when purport is given to this verse, Srila Prabhupada explains that propagating of Krishna consciousness, preaching of Krishna consciousness, it is the highest welfare activity for humanity. So what can be engaged? Life, wealth, intelligence, and words. We can engage our life, means we can use our energy, our time, our efforts, our attention to practice Krishna consciousness, to do something practical. Also wealth, we can donate something, we can use our money or other material resources in Krishna consciousness activities. Intelligence means it is exactly what we are trying to do now. We have some intelligence by Krishna's mercy, and we are trying to understand what is written in Srila Prabhupada's books. We are trying to understand the spiritual message. And words we can preach. Anyone and everyone who can speak, he can speak something about Krishna. He can tell Hare Krishna. And even Srila Prabhupada, he explains in his classes, when he explains this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:22-35, he explains that even if someone is lacking energy, he is diseased, physically diseased, mentally diseased, he has no life air, he is weak, materially weak. If someone is poor, if someone is stupid, has no intelligence, but still he is able to pronounce something, he can be useful in Krishna consciousness movement. At least even if he doesn't know anything about Krishna, he can say Hare Krishna. Or for example, he can tell to someone, you go to Hare Krishna temple, and these people in temple, they will explain you what Krishna consciousness means, because I cannot explain you, but those people, they can explain. So in such way, basically everyone and anyone can become Vartma Pradarshka Guru, can become such person who is showing the path of devotional service, even without being able to practice properly. Just the role is very simple. Just to tell to someone that ISKCON is a nice movement and devotees are nice people, and you go there and they will explain you what is what, and they will feed you with nice prasadam. That's all. Mission complete. Now you are Vartma Pradarshaka Guru. Hare Krishna. And you engaged your words in Krishna consciousness perfectly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the conclusion is that this process of reading Srila Prabhupada's books, like any devotional process, should be perceived from the position of service attitude. It is our service. When we distribute this knowledge, it is our service. When we are trying to understand, it is also service. Because when we are trying to understand and when we are able to understand, we become better devotees, and it is also our service to ISKCON to become better devotees. So in purport to Srimad Bhagavatam 3.29.45, Srila Prabhupada writes about eternal nature of this service. No one can live within this material world eternally. The phenomenal world is created, maintained, and destroyed by the finger signal, like this, and that's all. Created, maintained, destroyed by the finger signal of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, a devotee doesn't desire anything in this material world. A devotee desires only to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This servitude exists eternally, the Lord exists eternally, His servitor exists eternally, and the service exists eternally. So it is our path. We're trying to link ourselves and to link our future with something which is real, which is eternal. His Holiness Srila Shivarama Swami Maharaj, he was saying like this, like, I'm about 40 years in this movement now, likely 45 or like this. And so many things are changed. And what really didn't change is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we have this eternal Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is not different from Krishna himself. We have this Vedic knowledge, which is given by Krishna, which is also eternal. So we should just stick to these eternal things, and it will make our life meaningful and blissful. Thank you for your attention, and Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, and now we're going to the questions and answers. Amit Prabhu ki jai. Happy birthday, Prabhuji. Yes, please ask your question, Amit Kumar Prabhuji. Please. Amit Kumar Prabhuji, ask your question. You raised your hand. And then we will answer the questions in the chat.
Prabhuji, maybe I will do something with the settings so that they can unmute themselves. So
He cannot unmute?
No,
Okay.
Prabhuji, we have disabled that
Okay,
setting.
please do it. Amit Kumar Prabhuji, we are going to take your question. Okay, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhammatna.
Hare Krishna, happy birthday.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna to you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, it was very nice lecture and you have explained very well. And Prabhuji, my question is how to remain Krishna consciousness at our workplace?
That's all. That is the question, right? Very important. It is very important to chant as many rounds as you can, as much rounds as you can before going at your workplace. because at workplace, and it also depends what kind of job you have there. Usually this job requires to be concentrated on this job, on the tasks that are there. There are some jobs where a person can chant Hare Krishna at his workplace. For example, when someone is a guard who is working at night time, and he is about to secure some places, so he is just sitting there, and basically nothing is expected from him, so he can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra the whole night if he wishes, if he wants. But if we are speaking about job which is which requires which is more which requires one moment, I will repair my web camera. Okay, some technical issue. If you are on the job which is more complicated and which requires your attention, your concentration, then of course just try to chant your rounds before. Just try to wake up as early as you can and chant your rounds. And of course, if we are speaking about waking up early in the morning, it means that you have to go to bed in proper time in order to sleep enough. So it is a challenge for many people who are working outside, how to manage all this. But anyway, even if you have some difficulties with going to bed in proper time, or especially if someone has this situation that he has to work at night time and so on, if someone has some circumstances that make their spiritual life more complicated, more difficult, what one can do, one can pray to Krishna that please you please put me in such conditions that I could serve you better. So this prayer should be there. And if this prayer is there, then maybe likely after some time Krishna will arrange something. So what I can recommend is that you can chant as much rounds as you can, the most rounds. Ideally, the whole japa should be chanted before going at workplace, and then your consciousness will be controlled by Krishna himself during the whole work day. And then you will be happy to work, and you will be feeling Krishna's presence, and everything will be nice. And also, if the situation allows, you can have some Krishna consciousness classes on your mobile or on your MP3 player, and you can listen in your headphones. Again, if the situation allows you to listen some classes or to listen some kirtanas, and it also will be helping to maintain consciousness on particular level. Okay, and someone raised his hand, right?
Rekha Mataji.
Yes, please. Rekha Sinha. Very nice. Please ask your question, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you so much, and thank you. We are getting the opportunity to associate with you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, my question is very simple but very complicated to understand. That
Okay.
yeah, the Krishna we are understanding who is Krishna and who is Lord Krishna, and we are understanding his glories and all that thing. But the next part, that is consciousness, is something I think we are not understanding, or something where we are so stubborn to understand the things in spite of having association, in spite of no, reading the scriptures and listening to all no, Guru Maharaj and their lectures and other things, Prabhuji. Please, can you highlight on the things, though the lecture is on that basis only, but still a little more practical way, as we are trying to balance between the material life as well as the spiritual life.
Yesterday's question, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
How to... Well, if you want something particular, you please mention some particular challenges that you face. Then maybe I can tell something.
Prabhuji, for me, if at all, I need to say, I think every day is a challenge for me, especially from the professional point of view, where there are some roles which needs to be played, and over there, like how humility and so many other things have been mentioned over here, cannot be shown over there because you need to be strict, you need to be, and you have to show your anger at times, and there are many things, the qualities which a devotee should have cannot be showcased over there. So sometimes I feel guilty about it because we need to get the work done. And for the work to be done, those other qualities which are anti being devotee has to be played. So superficially we do it, but somewhere I feel that conscious, then it goes to the conscious mind, Prabhuji. And at the end of the day, feel very tired and feel very restless that how the quality of devotion has to be just not happen to that extent. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. And what is your job? What is your occupation?
Sir, sorry, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm a director for a university as well as an NCC officer. So there are multiple roles which needs to be played.
Oh, it is very, very important position. Hare Krishna. Well, we should differentiate between our dealings with devotees and dealings with other people. It is mentioned in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's book, which is called Bhakti Aloka. You can buy this book, you can order this book, or just download this book. And in this book, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he explains, he elaborates on the second and third verses and first verse as well. The first three verses of Upadeshamrita, or Nectar of Instruction. What is beneficial for spiritual advancement, what is not beneficial, and how to control senses. So, how to control senses, it is written here, and regarding our dealings with devotees and with non-devotees, there should be some differentiation, because as far as I understood from your question, you are asking how to manifest Vaishnava qualities in our dealings at workplace. So at workplace, from a Vaishnava, it is not so much expected to manifest all these Vaishnava qualities. Vaishnava qualities are important in Vaishnava Sangha. When Vaishnavas, they meet each other and their dealings are based on a spiritual platform, and when they want to get mercy from each other, then it is really important to behave in such way that Krishna will be satisfied, in such way that you understand that this Vaishnava is dear to Krishna and all this stuff. But if to speak about our dealings with so-called ordinary people or common people or those who are non-devotees, we should just be gentle and polite. We should be just gentle, polite, and we should do whatever is expected from us to do out of duty, with the sense of duty, because it is my duty. Love and affection is not expected here. Love and affection is reserved for dasa anudasas, for them. Means we open our heart to sadhus, we open our hearts to Vaishnavas, to gurus, to saintly people, to those who will help us, and to those to whom we can help also in Krishna consciousness. It is called Vaishnava Sangha. It is one thing. But if we are trying to be too much saintly at our workplace, we will face some difficulties. It is not so much relevant here. We should just be gentle, polite, and this politeness is understood by common people, but they will not appreciate these Vaishnava qualities, because these Vaishnava qualities, the nature of Vaishnava's heart can be really understood and appreciated for those by those who are practicing. by those who are practicing. So it is more intimate circle of Vaishnava association, and we behave in this intimate circle in particular intimate way. Like for example, if someone is a householder, he has wife, children, and so on. He has this personal, intimate relationships with his family members, and he doesn't share some secrets or something confidential which belongs to this family circle. He doesn't share this with others. So the same way we should differentiate that to be gentle and to be polite, it is actually sufficient to create good impression for common people, and in that way common people will be appreciating us in the way that they are able to appreciate, and their impression about ISKCON, if they will be knowing that we are from ISKCON, their impression also will be good. Otherwise, it is really difficult when we expect too much from ourselves. If we really expect to manifest all these Vaishnava qualities at workplace, where just to be gentle and to be polite is sufficient. It is sufficient to be there. And on our stage, because we are just about to begin our spiritual life, we are new in this movement. On our stage, we are really able to manifest these Vaishnava qualities. Why? Because we are surrounded by Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are around us, and because of that we are nourished by their presence. And when Vaishnavas, they are together, it is easier for them to behave like Vaishnavas. Because we, honestly speaking, you are not Vaishnavas yet. We are trying to become Vaishnavas. We are trying to develop these qualities. So the answer on your question is, don't expect too much from yourself. To be polite and to be gentle, it is sufficient. To be professional, to be attentive to people, all this stuff. And regarding anger, Rupa Goswami in Upadeshamrita in the first verse, he writes that anger it is normal to be angry, but we can redirect our anger to particular category of people who deserve this anger from our side. It is normal, and it is not just normal, it is prescribed to be angry to those who are committing some offenses to Vaishnavas or to Krishna, or those who are blaspheming ISKCON movement, or who are blaspheming our acharyas, or who are blaspheming Srila Prabhupada, and so on. So if someone is angry, we can, what we can do? We can criticize we can criticize Mayavadis, like Srila Prabhupada was also sometimes was really angry on Mayavadis and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We can criticize Mayavadis, we can criticize materialistic lifestyle, we can criticize Ritvik Vada followers, those who are thinking that only from Srila Prabhupada we can accept our spiritual initiations, and all other ISKCON gurus, they are not eligible, they have no qualities, they are fallen and all this stuff, they are offenders. This Ritvik Vada people from so-called ISKCON revival movement, so we can be angry at them. So it is natural for some people to be angry because it is their nature, and it can be easily seen even at their astrological chart regarding the position of Mars planet and other things. Some people are really natural for them to be angry. So just choose someone who deserves your anger, and you can direct your anger there. You can just compile the list of those who deserve. And Rupa Goswami, he writes that first of all, Vaishnava offenders, Krishna offenders, they deserve this anger. And there are two kinds of anger. First kind of anger, it comes from our false ego. Means I think that what's going on around me should go exactly according to my vision, exactly according to my understanding. And if something goes wrong, I become angry because I cannot control. Basically, this position of a controller, it is our attempt to imitate Krishna because he is the highest controller. So if someone thinks that world should act according to his expectations only, it is particular illusion. It is a mistake to think like this. It is one part, it is one side of this situation, but another side is that if you are director, then at your position, you really have to control. There are some processes that you have to control, and there are some people that should be controlled. And it means that sometimes for benefit of your subordinates, you have a right to be angry on them. But this anger should not be from position of false ego that everything should be like I'm saying. It should be from position of taking care of people. I mean that if someone will take seriously your anger, and if someone will rectify his actions, then he will become better worker at his workplace. He will become better person or better worker and so on. So this anger should be for benefit for others, means we are angry not because something goes not according to our expectations, but we are angry because person who can act better and who has this potential to be better, he doesn't use this potential. And but he can be better, and I believe in you, my dear subordinate, that you can become better. Just try your best. And some portion of anger can motivate, actually. If your subordinates, if they take you seriously, then your anger can help here. But again, the dosage of this anger is important, because if there will be too much anger, it can destroy. It can destroy relationships and other things. So it can be also used in our dealings. Does it answer on your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Yes, whatever you have said, that is the way I would take it ahead. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So I have started disliking the professional work, but sometimes I feel whether it is Lord Krishna's plan or what, I do not understand. But Prabhuji, just I'm going ahead with the process, what is there with me right now. Hare Krishna.
Okay, okay, Mataji, Hare Krishna, good luck. So we're going to read what is written here in chat, and in chat we have question from Vaidik Sharma. And one more. Okay, Gaurangi Mehra. Oh, yes. Vaidik Sharma. What perspective can be offered on the apparent paradox of being an autonomous individual and being part of a divinely orchestrated cosmos? Oh, nice question. Orchestrated cosmos while maintaining the free will of everyone sanctioned by Lord Krishna. How is everything is endured to tune into symphony even with... Prabhuji is musician, right? Endured to tune into symphony even with independence to act into Krishna's service. Wouldn't my free will with imperfections hinder with Krishna's cosmic plan on initial stages of devotional service? Wouldn't it? Very nice, very nice. No, well, again, it depends what is... wouldn't be offensive. It depends on the context. It depends what you are asking about. Are you asking about devotional service which you perform, or you are asking about your professional duty at your workplace? Because if we are speaking about devotional service, and if we want to know what Krishna wants from us, then we can just ask our spiritual master what to do. and spiritual master will give us instructions what to do, what kind of devotional service to do, and what should be our qualities, our attitude, and other things. And in such way, it is his role, spiritual master's role, to synchronize our actions with Krishna's will. He is Krishna's representative. He knows what is Krishna's will. So it is his role to synchronize. So when we follow spiritual master's instructions, when we follow and if we follow these instructions, then we can be sure that everything is synchronized and this orchestra plays nice music. We can be sure with this. If to speak about our workplace and our professional duties, then basically it is our own duty to be professional, to understand what is relevant, what is not relevant in such and such particular situation at our job, at our work. But at the same time, again, we can take some advices from spiritual master. Sometimes spiritual master can advise us if we are young people and if we didn't choose or didn't decide what will be my professional occupation, what to do, what should be done in life, then spiritual master sometimes can give an advice. You should take such and such job, or you should take such and such studies, or you should not study anything. You just go to brahmachari ashram and stay there, and other things. It depends. So we can take advices from spiritual master also. If because of our imperfections, if our actions are going against Krishna's will, I mean in context of devotional service, and if this symphony is broken, we can feel this very easily by looking at devotees who are around us. Because if symphony is broken, then in that case, devotees are usually not so much pleased with us. Devotees who are around us in our community or in brahmachari ashram, those devotees with whom we are trying to serve Krishna. So if they are not satisfied, then likely something is wrong. But again, there is one point that in almost in any community and in any group of people, in any ashrama, there are some particular Vaishnavas who are always not satisfied. So, and if you see that this person is not satisfied, it is not a criteria, because this particular person is always unsatisfied. So we should, when we are in Vaishnava society, in some community and so on, we should be attentive. And if we are able to see that particular people are inclined to be always or almost always unsatisfied, we should tell to ourselves that likely it is not the criteria. Their opinion, likely it will not be criteria, because there are other devotees who are sometimes satisfied, sometimes they are not satisfied. Means we should not become a slave of opinion of a person who has this fly mentality, who is able to see imperfections only. We should not be slave of an opinion of such person, because otherwise we will be always in depression, and we will be always thinking that I am so much useless, imperfect, and so on. And because of that depression, usually people, they are avoiding to be active. They are saying, whatever I'm doing, it is imperfect, so let me just avoid any activity. But again, it is not our way to live. Devotion, it is about activity. Devotion, it is not just emotion or some mental conception. It is activity. So anyway, we should be active And life is life. Some people will be unsatisfied with us. But if most of Vaishnavas are satisfied, then it is okay. And if it is done according to spiritual master's instructions, then we should be just happy, and we can be sure that we are playing nicely in this orchestra. So, do we have some more questions?
No, Prabhuji, I think we don't have any other questions now. So, yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, so thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving us your association. So we will thank Prabhuji by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. See you next time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
कृष्ण। जैसे आप सभी भक्तों का भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आपने हमारा सेशन ज्वाइन किया, हमें अपना संग दिया। तो ऐसे आप हमारे सेशन ज्वाइन करते रहिएगा। और एक बार फिर से अमित प्रभु जी को उनके जन्म दिवस की बहुत बहुत हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। और हम आशा करें कि प्रभु जी इसी विनम्रता के साथ, इसी सर्विस एटीट्यूड के साथ हमारे लिए हमें अपना संग देते रहे और हमारे इन सेशंस को हमें गाइड करते रहे। तो हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। तो आप सभी का भी बहुत धन्यवाद, आपने सेशन ज्वाइन किया। अब सेशन हम यहीं पे विराम करेंगे। जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद जी की जय।
जय
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
जय
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय जय
निताय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि
हरि
हरि।
हरि
थैंक यू डिवोटीज। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण डिवोटीज, प्रणाम।